Welcome to Vegas Live with Ninon. I'm Ninon, your host, and of course you know me. I've been here for a long time. We're going into, we're already in our 7th year, so things are going pretty good. I have Dr. Phineas with me. I had him on my show. I had you on my show, I think it was probably about 3 or 4 years ago now.
Yes.
Because the show's been going for so long.
That's right.
And all of a sudden you sort of contacted me as usual. They all come, Ninon, how are you? What do you do? Well, normally when you get that phone call, it's like, I want to come back on your show. Okay.
I just want to see you. I think you're so gorgeous.
That's so sweet. But you've got a lot under your belt since last time we were together.
I do, yeah.
What exactly do you do? Because I'm not quite sure what you do. I know you were doing a photographic shoot the other day.
Yes.
So give me a little bit of what you do.
So, I'm one of those guys that juggles a lot of different hats, so to speak,
I
in the
didn't know
industry.
you was a juggler, so that we know. I love to tease.
But actually, I was a child star. So
I didn't know that. See, I didn't know that.
I was a child star, and I started.
Anything famous or?
Very famous.
What?
I first in the 1950s, if you can remember this, I was the mini-me of Pinky Lee.
Oh,
The
really?
Pinky Lee show.
I don't
Hello,
know because
my name is Pinky
Pinky
Lee.
Lee.
But I was big in America, and I wasn't sure in England in those days.
We didn't have it. I don't even know if we had television.
So he was really like the first Pee Wee Herman shtick.
And you were not the guy, obviously, because you were a kid.
I was like 5 years old.
5 years old.
And so I would tap and dance along with him, and because I had kids following me all over the country. And my mother said, well, after 9 months trying to hold you and give birth to you, I decided you were a tap dancer. So
she kicked around a lot.
Right into tap dancing.
Mother crazy.
And here I am, 72 years old, still tap dancing on the Strip. If you can imagine,
Now,
I'm still
wait
in
a
shows.
second. Wait, you're not one of these people that dances down by Fremont Street, are you?
No, I'm on the Strip at the Link at the Brooklyn Bowl, and I'm in Alice in Wonderland. So, Alice, and I'm still tap dancing.
And you're Alice.
No, I'm not Alice. I'm the Mad Hatter and the Red King, and I haven't gender bent myself yet.
Not yet.
It's a temptation.
He's not picking up on my jokes. I'm telling you, he's not. Come on, he looks as mad as a man.
I swear, we had so much fun the other night.
Yes.
Ninon and I have been sneaking out on town together.
Well, actually,
We really had a blast.
it was something that fell into my lap, and it was a couple of tickets for the Love. What do they call it? The Love? The Beatles. They
The
call it
Beatles Love Show.
The Love Show. I've often looked at it and thought, coming from England and knowing the Beatles, and I knew the Beatles when they first came out.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
were in London, and we were on Green Street.
Exactly.
And so I've never seen the show, so I've got this idea in my head about the show.
Yeah.
Well, the show was nothing like I thought it would be.
No, it's completely
It's a theatrical. There's tremendous
extravaganza.
Extravaganza.
Oh my
with
gosh,
this
maybe
going,
70 people on stage all
at least
dancing,
70
stilts
people
and
colours and
aerial
up hair and twirling around and twisting and everything. And what comes into it is the music.
The music, all the Beatles music, which we were singing
Well, I was
on
gonna
the
say,
front
now,
row.
hang on a second. So the embarrassing moment comes because we're both in the entertainment business. So the embarrassing moment, and we're sitting second row from the front. So I'm kind of practically on stage. I'm like still touching them.
That's true.
And I'm laughing, but the horrible thing was that the songs come on and we both start singing them because we both know the words, because we're both old enough to know the words.
The other people are looking at us like they actually know these
And they say
songs.
they
Like,
know the
what are
words.
these songs? We're singing Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, All You Need Is Love. And the cast is waving at us like we've just become part of the cast.
But I knew a lot of them in it because they've been on my show. So when with the whole thing through, the people behind said, "Oh, you must be very well known." And I'm looking at her. I said, "Well, kind of." I wasn't going to go into that. But that was a fun time. Now, before all that, you were doing a film thing. You were doing a photography thing for...
Well, yes. So where that child star thing went was appearances on Gunsmoke. I was on Bonanza. As a child, Lassie.
Yes.
So I was all over the place, making these appearances. Mm-hmm. And then as I got older, I went to the American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco, and did 2 seasons, like as Christopher Wren in Mousetrap by Agatha Christie.
So did you get called for these spots and to do these different things because of your dancing and your attitude and your outgoing personality, which is...
I was a guy working with Walt Disney when I was 5 years old. So everybody knew me in the industry, you know, in LA.
But normally when you're a child star, it's very difficult to continue.
It is.
You know, when you grow up,
Well,
you know, and then nobody wants you anymore
It's
because
true.
you're no longer the child. So how did you manage that?
So I moved to San Francisco and I went to UC Berkeley where I was studying theater and archaeology.
Okay.
And I ended up getting a PhD in archaeology, if you can imagine.
No.
On top of
To be honest with you.
all the rest of this.
The tap dancer.
hanging out at ACT. And I was doing a lot of fashion modeling in those days for Dior, and eventually for Versace.
But you just did a thing for Versace.
I'm still working for Versace 50 years later. I'm still modeling. And it was so amusing to me because I was 6 feet tall, thin. And so Sabina, the great agent, saw me and she said, let's send this guy to Milan. I started working in Milan. And Jimmy Gourmet came up to me, I'll never forget. And he said, well, enjoy it now, Doc, because when you're 28 years old, you'll be over. This will all be over.
I love when people say that.
I
love it when people say that.
I sent him tapes of me when I was on Night Rider.
You better send him a tape of the other night. Let him know you're still alive.
Here I am, 72, ready to kill it. Now, people like us,
You're
we
going
just
to
get
find
better
out
like
how old
wine.
I am later on. I've got a big break coming up later on, so don't forget, stay tuned, because I've got something really, really big to talk about.
But don't you feel like you're at your best right now? I feel like I'm at my best.
I always feel I'm at my best. There is no, I've had such an incredible life. That it's always, every day has been at my best.
Exactly.
I live, you know, people have have something, a destiny, I guess what you call it, and there's a journey to that, whatever they're trying to get or do, and they forget to live from here to there, and I don't do that. I live every single day is a day. And it's a beautiful day, and sometimes it's not so beautiful, but that's just how it is. Because if you have everything's good all the time, how are you going to make yourself any better? You can't.
Yeah.
So you have to have these little tragedies or these moments. I call them moments in time. They're all moments in time. So you've had many moments in time.
I have. It's been amazing. And
so when are we getting married and drive the world crazy?
I think we should. I really.
Have you ever been married?
I have not. No. I've pretty much, been
we
nose
could break that, you know.
Nose to grindstone in career for years.
Yes.
And, in 78, I moved to LA. And when I moved to LA, I moved to Mandeville Canyon.
I know Mandeville Canyon very well.
I lived at Mandeville and Chalon.
Mandeville, I lived on Chalon.
So I always thought you were one of my neighbors.
I lived on Chalon. I lived at 10660 Chalon.
So you're right down the street from me.
I was down the street. My actual local was the Bel Air Country. The Bel Air Country was over there. The Bel Air Hotel. I could walk to the Bel Air Hotel.
Because I thought, the first time I met you, I said, I swear to God, I know, because I lived in that corner house. Here was Lauren Green.
Yes.
Here was Sandy Dennis.
Yes.
Across the street was Greer Garson.
Yes.
And 3 doors down was Esther Williams.
Well, Esther Williams used to come to my house all the time. I knew Esther
She
Williams
came
and
to my
her
house
daughter.
and I went to her house.
Sorry about Esther Williams. Esther Williams is so upset. She said, Ninon. I said, what's the matter? She said, well, I can't go to the bars anymore. And I said, what do you mean you can't go to the bars anymore? She just likes to go to the bars, have a drink, and mix with the young guys.
Oh, yeah, she's fabulous.
She loved that. She said, well, I can't do that anymore. I said, well, what's the reason? AIDS came out.
Oh, yes. Yes, it's true.
And so when AIDS came out, she didn't know what to do. Well, she didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Because she didn't want to get AIDS, obviously, but at the same time, she still wanted to have a good time. But that was her thing, and she said, but what a woman. But
I saw her all the time. And, when you live where we lived, in that, and they come over to my house for tennis.
And then I used to drive around in my off-white Rolls Royce that I had.
I think I saw you in that.
You probably did. I used to drive, that was my car.
It was a fabulous life.
Of course, that was when I was married to. I was married to the greatest man in the entire world.
And I remember Esther came over to my house one day and she goes, well, have you met my son Lorenzo? Well, Lorenzo Lamas, she was married to Fernando Lamas. Yes. And she said, I think you two would really get along. So I met Lorenzo and he said, well, Doc, I want you to come on Night Rider. So then I was on Night Rider. And Lorenzo and I, we made so many movies for HBO, like Out for Blood 1 and 2. I'd be running down a runway, jump out of a helicopter. And my sister would go, I think I'm going to disown you because you're on HBO 1, 2, and 3 right now, all with an Uzi. Chasing people from a helicopter. It was because we were doing kickboxing movies and all kinds of fun stuff like that. It's crazy.
The funny thing with this guy, I don't push people of who I am, what I am, and what I've done. I just never do that, and neither do you.
No.
Because I've never known all these things you're telling me of what you've done and do. I never knew that. I was counted as another guy. I mean,
I think people do.
but no, people don't. People, oh, you're a movie star. Oh, you're this, and it's not. And it's just a matter of having another job. It's a job. It's just a different job. One's in entertainment and one's an accountant. And one's in real estate and but it's just a job.
It is a job. You know, I was just working on a movie. Here I'm 72, I'm still out there, and we're shooting out in Jean. So we're out in the middle of this desert riverbed.
Heat.
It really bad heat. And here we drive in with all these trailers. We look like a covered wagon. You know, I've got my trailer. And there's probably 150 people, you know, making this movie happen.
Of course.
We come together for a week. It's very intense. I've been in costumes. I'm sweating like a dog. I'm running out there.
You're still doing the job.
Doing my scene with these guys, looking right in their eyes, doing the scene. Then we pack it all up like a carnival, move to the next location. I may never see these people again.
But that's what it is.
And I don't think people realize the film industry, it's not this glamour.
It's not glamour at all, and I can tell you, I've been on many a set. It is not. You could be on a set 12 hours and nothing happens.
33 takes in 105-degree weather, and my, my director's saying, "Okay, Doc, could you say that like Elvis Presley?" "Oh yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much." Yeah, now I changed my line. You know, to do Elvis Presley.
To get into character.
Okay, now can you say the line like Pee Wee Herman? Okay, yeah, like take a bit of that. You know?
What else can you do? You know, it's funny. I'm looking because we had this big thing with Johnny Depp and all this stuff that went on, which was just like a movie or a documentary. Well, I don't know what it was, but anyway, whoever won. But I'm looking at your hands, and one of the questions was that how could Johnny Depp hit this young lady, because he always had all these rings on, so therefore she would have dents all over the place. And I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
Look at all these rings. I mean, I thought I had enough rings.
You know, I got very influenced. I was really good friends with Liberace, so I'd be around Liberace, and I played.
You be careful, and then you better be careful because they'll chop your bloody hands off.
People always say that to me, but nothing ever happens.
Well,
I go like this everywhere.
I go out with my jewelry.
I go to Rio de Janeiro like this. Walk down in the Copacabana. Nobody even says anything.
They probably don't think they're real. It's all fake.
That's the beauty of it. I mean, everybody's in Speedos, right?
Well, no, that's the greatest thing about being an actor, because you're always faking it.
Well, it's true.
You can't fake it.
It's true. I mean, and I did have somebody stop me in a parking lot once, and and I said,
"Give me all your diamonds. I don't have any diamonds on."
"You really want this stuff? You really want these rhinestones? These are rhinestones. What's wrong with you?" So the guy takes my wallet. I give him $300. And I said, "Could I just have my credit cards back? Because there's some good stuff in there, like Neiman Marcus." He gave me all my credit cards back. Took the $300. Got his card left.
That's a good idea. Instead of him taking on whoever, if that ever happens to you, take a book out of the docks.
Yeah.
Just give them money, because that's all they basically.
Don't take my Medicare card, whatever you do.
Medicare is pretty cool these days. They take care of your teeth.
Oh,
they take care.
God, it's the best. Saving my life.
Yeah, they take care of your skin. They're taking care of your eyeglasses now. Everything.
Yeah, everything.
And food stamps and everything. I think I'm going to retire.
I wonder if Medicare will cover me going to Brazil to see Dr. Pitanguy like Cher and get a complete
hang in
lift.
A second. Now,
I want everything lifted.
Doctor, you are stretching. Well, if they lift everything I have, I'm going to end up in
They'll be looking at my card like, "This is not Portuguese, I don't think so."
A lot of people go to Mexico for a lot of stuff.
Everybody. They're stars. They're always asking
petrified.
"Would you go with me to Tijuana?" And I think your lips. I'm looking at their lips. It sort of looks like Daffy Duck. I'm thinking, I don't think I want to go.
Fortunately, I don't need my lips doing it. These are mine. I don't need.
Yeah, I really like my lips.
The last thing I want them any bigger. If anything, I'm trying to shrink them.
I can't even look at some of those lips in Hollywood.
So, Doc, what have you got coming up?
Well, what I've got coming up. One thing, I have a present for you. So this is my new book, which is from India with Love.
From India.
So it's
Oh,
all
what
my
happened?
travels in
Oh.
India that I've made. I've been there 20 times.
So
I'm
let me-
obsessed
so
with India.
Have you traveled the world a lot?
I have 120 countries.
120 countries.
Mm-hmm.
And which was your best?
Well, I would say...
Don't say America.
No, it's not. My best is either India, Japan, or Morocco. Those are three places
I
I
think
just...
Morocco's beautiful.
I
Japan,
love Morocco.
I happen to love Japanese. I
I
love
love
Asian people,
Japan.
period. But I love Japan.
Just the aesthetic there. And I stay at Ryoanji Temple in Kyoto,
Oh,
where they have the raked rocks, and it's very zen.
When I
and
was in Hong Kong,
just
the
feels so
women in
peaceful.
Hong Kong are so fun. I was staying at this hotel, I won't mention the name, but I was staying at this hotel, and we were on a certain floor, and when we would arrive on this floor, there was like 4 or 5 girls behind the sort of counter making sure everything, and they all bowed down and, hello, how are you? And I would say something, and because, I'm always cracking jokes, and they all start laughing.
I love how they laugh.
I love how they laugh, because they're kind of embarrassed.
And they cover the
Yeah,
teeth.
they cover their teeth, they cover themselves when they laugh. But they were the Hong Kong people were so sweet. I know it was originally British, or it was run
Yeah.
by the British.
They speak
that's why
English.
I know, yes.
They speak English better than I
Well,
do.
that's why they liked me, because there's this full English accent coming
Yeah,
up. They
right,
say,
right.
oh, there's one of us.
Yes, exactly.
And
They
so
speak
they
with
were
a
all
British
excited.
accent.
But the people are fabulous.
They're
So,
fabulous.
I
I
love
love
But I think
Hong
I love
Kong.
all people. I have not been
really
to
do
India
too.
yet.
Oh, I think you'd love India.
You think I will?
I really should take you there. It's just, I stay in palaces, like
I
with the
accept.
Maharaja.
Listen, all of you out there, you are all witnesses that we're going to go. We might not get married.
I was
okay?
just in India.
You were just in India.
In filming a new TV show called Treasure Quest.
Okay.
And I stayed with the Maharaja of Baroda in a gorgeous palace. Amazing palace.
I don't know if he's dropping words or just being what he is.
No, it's just, I know
That's
I
just
sound
what it
like a
was.
crazy man, but
Well,
this
you
is
are
what
a
my
crazy
life.
man.
This is what my
I
life is
sound
like.
like a crazy man. He's a crazy man.
It was very fascinating to be in India after all this time. It's been a
Yes.
while since I've been there.
Well, at least a couple of years because of the
Yeah.
COVID thing, anyway.
Yes,
So
exactly.
it's been quite a long
Oh
time.
my gosh, it's like such
But
a
it seems,
cluster of
is India
cars.
what I see what it is? Is it kind of you've got this category and that category? They don't seem to have a middle class.
No, they do now.
They do.
now. I think thanks to Bill Gates went in there and brought a lot of factories over for, Apple and all these kinds of things,
Yes, yes,
Microsoft.
yes,
and
yes,
the-
yes.
It's all in there now. So now they have this burgeoning middle class. And it's really the problem because all those people have Mercedes Benzes, they're all well educated, there's so many doctors,
Yeah.
so many engineers. And so now you try to go someplace in a tut-tut, you get in a tut-tut and you're sort of winding your way through
I would
scene.
hate that.
And
I would have to be in
you
something
come-
enclosed.
Suddenly you come to this huge cluster
Of
of
people.
Mercedes
Oh,
Benzes and then goat herders and then 2 sacred cows in the middle of the street, and you can't hurt the sacred cows or they get really
They're
mad.
sacred.
So you see a very lovely lady get out of her Mercedes Benz and she's got a banana and she's going, "Sacred cow, please. You're my mother. Please, we need to get down the road. Here's a banana. Follow me." And they're pleading to get the cows out of the road,
get out the road.
so they can make it down the street. I mean, when I was young, I thought that was very amusing.
That
At this
was.
age, it was a bit foreboding,
Yes,
where
but it's funny because they used to have a lot of the Indian people. They would send their young children over here to study
yeah.
to be a doctor and everything, and they would always be. But then they would take and start working in America or Paris or London over there.
Mm-hmm.
Now they come here for the university.
Yeah.
And they get their degree and everything. But now they've built these incredible hospitals in India.
Oh,
so now
it's
they can go
amazing.
take the quality and what
Oh,
they've
yeah.
learned.
Oh, yeah.
They can now take it back to India, and I think that's helping.
the
India a
hospitals,
lot.
people fly from New York to India to get operations
Well,
now because
because-
it's so much more reasonable.
Was one
And-
reason, but also I think the Indian doctors, I don't know why, but they're so methodical. They're so good at what
and they have
do.
wonderful little hands for surgery.
I don't
If you
know
look
about
at
that.
the
I've never had
hands,
surgery by an
the
Indian,
hands
so I don't know.
they're meticulous with their
Well, that's what
hands
they
and-
are. They're very meticulous,
it's
and they're very. I
something-
know there was an Indian guy I know. He's a plastic surgeon, actually, Indian
Oh,
plastic
yeah.
surgeon
Yeah,
in Beverly
yeah.
Hills.
Yeah,
And I forgot his name. He would hate me. Well, he's a doctor too.
yeah.
Remember that part.
Some of my dear friends are doctors at Mayo Clinic here, and they're all Indian, and they're like oncologists. They're brain surgeons.
Their brains,
they're,
they're just incredible.
they're
Well, let's get back to
amazing.
you.
Well, and what's
My friend.
new for me
What's
is
new? What
I've
you got
got
coming
2
out?
new TV shows coming out, and one is great fun called The Savant Squad. And it's a little bit of a twist from what I normally do, but I'm playing a psychic private investigator, right? And this is a guy who goes into homes that are seriously haunted.
Now, are you going to be dressed like this, sort of? Because you always
No.
kind of dress...
This
you
wear
keep
because,
you keep these little whiskers, right?
I'm the face of Versace for a lot of television ads. I'm the face of Virgin Airways. So this is my Virgin Airways look when I do Virgin Hotel
Virgin
ads
Airways.
on TV. But in that show...
I can't let that slide by.
That show is Southwestern. So we're all in cowboy
You
clothes.
didn't even get it.
Pretty much cowboy hats.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So you'll be wearing a cowboy.
Yeah.
Cowboy
But
hat.
the good thing about this is a lot of reality shows that you see that are about paranormalism, they go in and they say, okay, we can see there's a ghost. They've got these meters. We can tell this room's haunted. And then they go, bye, we'll see you. And they just leave the ghost in the house and leave. And these homes are seriously haunted. So after I identify what's going on there, I exorcise those spirits out of the house so that they can live in their homes.
Oh.
So I'm taking it to the next level of actually exercising, showing people how
So
to
do
get
you-
rid
hang
of
on a second.
malicious
This interview is
spirits.
going awfully long, and I know that, but that's okay, because there's a reason why this interview is going long, and you'll find out at the end of all my shows and all my guests. You'll find out. But do ghosts really, can you really get rid of them?
Yes, I can.
How?
I
mean,
can.
in true life, we're not talking about acting, we're not talking
No,
about anything.
this is true life. This is a reality show. And I've been doing ghost busting since I was a little boy because our
So what
family
do you
home
do?
was
What do
quite
you say?
haunted.
Well, you don't no longer wanted her, get out of her.
Yeah. So you have to do it in a very special way. And I trained at the Theosophical
what's the special
Society
way?
in Blavatsky herself, how she would get rid of spirits and ghosts when they were
This
malicious
is
in a
amazing.
house.
I didn't know anything about this guy.
Yeah. So
So this is in true life you do this?
in true life, I help so many people. I mean, there's very
Do I have a
famous
ghost-
people in
do-
Vegas.
Do you
that
think
are-
I have a ghost in my house?
I don't think so. I sort of felt a little bit of a spirit when I came in, but I think it is an angelic spirit, and I think it's your husband watching over you. I do feel that.
That's okay.
I do feel that.
have that
And it's
anytime.
nothing malicious.
No.
He's just good. And
Oh, he
he's-
was good to me.
He's an angel who
We
comes
had a kind of
in and checks on
understanding.
you.
He had two other wives before me, and I guess they couldn't work him out. And we were married 29 years actually, and we were just perfect for each other. I'm not saying we're two perfect people and we're great and we're wonderful. No, but we got married and we were just perfect together. We had a few rows, and when we had an argument or a row, it was really, really big. But it was only we only had like 4 or 5 of them in 29 years. So
I sense it.
So we didn't.
I sense it.
But we had a very understanding.
He's
you know.
like a protective guardian spirit around you. He checks on you. And I kind of feel him move in and move out. He doesn't want to be oppressive. He doesn't want to make you feel weird. But he's just watching over you, making sure everything's okay. And that's
So
beautiful.
do I have another man in my house?
I don't know. I don't sense it. I don't really sense
Do
it.
I have another man in my life?
Well, now you're asking me to tell your fortune.
Well, no, I haven't got to money yet. Fortune to me means
But
money.
You're such a beautiful woman. Why not? Why not? I
Yes.
keep that door open.
No, I've had my door's very much open. I
Yeah,
don't
why
close
not?
my doors. In
Why
fact,
not?
you know, it's so
And
funny.
you're so
and then
much
I'll close.
fun.
I promise I'll close the show out. I know I'm really bad, but I don't mind being bad. I can be bad. I'm going to find
I
out
don't mind
later
being bad. Do any
You're
of you
gonna
out
find
there
out
mind being
later.
bad?
how bad I can be and how bad, and it doesn't really matter.
And really, we are both very bad. When we go out in Vegas,
Oh.
we are out of control.
The
I
other
want you to
day,
know.
where was it Mandalay Bay? Where were we?
We
No.
were in the Mirage.
Mirage. We were
Yep.
at the Mirage, and I'm dressed. I've got these. I had this outfit on.
Well, we
It
both
was
looked like
crazy.
$1 million, and people
We-
were coming up and taking our pictures.
They were taking our pictures. And it was the funniest thing, and they were all watching us, and we're just marching around like, you know, wanting to go see this Love Boat thing, whatever it was.
And we had more energy than the 25-year-olds. That was the really sad
Yeah,
part.
that was and then we're skinny and we're running and we're doing all our thing. Okay, Doc, I'm going to close out. I promise.
This was so much
Wasn't that
fun. Thank
now,
you,
how can
Ninon.
anybody reach you and give you more parts and doing all this
Well,
crazy
please.
stuff?
Well, I am there in almost every social media. So I'm Facebook. You can reach out. Just look for Doc Phineas, DocPhineas. And there's my new book, which is called From India with Love. And also feel free to on Instagram. I'm there on TikTok. I'm sure you'd have a lot of fun with me. Just find me and DocPhineas.com. And
And if you can't find him, he will find you.
I will. I will find you.
You will. Thanks for watching Vegas Live with Ninon. It's been amazing. All my interviews never go the way I plan them because I don't plan them, so I don't get upset. I don't worry about anything because I never know. I don't pre-interview, and I know more about you today than I did the other evening going out because all we did was laugh and joke, which is that's all you really need to do when you go out. Don't get too serious out there. It's live every day to the extent you can. And put a little bit more into it because it's worth it, absolutely. I've got another guest coming up, a couple of them coming up, so stay tuned and we'll be right back. Take care. Welcome back again to Vegas Live with Ninon. I have next to me Hyro, an unusual name.
Yes.
And how did you get a name like that?
Well,
obviously your mother and father decided that way.
As with a lot of Latin American families, it's usually traditional name of the firstborn after the father.
Father or the mother or the whatever.
So somewhere along the line we have a lot of Hyros, but
so you became a Hyro.
Yes, but not Junior. I actually have a middle name, whereas my father does not. So,
so that's nice. So they don't call you Junior.
No.
I've never really quite liked a junior because it's sort of your secondary.
Yeah, it's either your secondary or it's like saying...
No, which is your dad or your grandfather or somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
And sort of you never are really your own person when you think about it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
I've never been a junior because I've got two younger ones and two older ones, and here am I in the middle. The hobo?
The oboe, yeah.
The oboe. Yeah. Plays the oboe, so which means it's telling my little brain up here that you're in an orchestra.
Yes, I actually play principal oboe for Nevada Chamber. Yeah, it's a newer orchestra that here in Las Vegas. I actually play for two of the newer orchestras here. So Nevada Chamber Orchestra is the one I play principal for. I also work with the Las Vegas Sinfonietta.
Now, is this more, when we talk about an orchestra, we talk about classical?
Yes.
So is this more classical music, and is this coming more into town of people listening to classical music in Vegas?
Yes, actually both. So with Nevada Chamber Orchestra, we do a lot of like pop music. Like for example, our upcoming concert on July 17th is movie music.
Oh, how beautiful!
Yeah, we usually do one a year.
Like a musical.
Yeah, but we actually pick different selections from different movies. For example, this concert will feature music from Titanic.
Oh, how fabulous!
Jurassic Park is on there, and
so it becomes very entertaining.
Yeah.
So you're doing the musicals of the movie industry.
Yeah, we're doing a little with Las Vegas Sinfonietta. It's a little more true classical music and bringing that sort of
like
culture
Beethoven
to Vegas.
And Brahms and Tchaikovsky and
yes, exactly.
Rachmaninoff, Bach. I know a few of them. I was brought up in that actually. So how long have you been doing this? This has always been your business?
I've played oboe for the last 20 years, professionally for the last 6 or 7 years. Professionally.
Really? Professionally. Now, do you do this full time, or is this a part-time thing and you do something else? Or do you teach?
Well, funny enough, it's like a lot with a lot of the entertainment industries. It's like one of many hats that you wear.
Yeah. Because after interviewing so many people, different things they all do.
So on one side I perform professionally, on the other side I also teach.
I figured you'd be teaching.
And I also work as when I'm not performing.
So kind of keep it in the business.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're able to earn a living through what you do.
Yeah, exactly. I also work in education, so as a part-time, or I guess more full-time job, I also work with in the special education department at Doral Academy, Red Rock. We deal with a lot of like high-functioning autism or kids that have
anxiety or depression issues, or even.
And you find this brings them down or relaxes them?
Well, I actually don't do any music with them.
Oh.
With them, it's purely helping them get.
Them
No.
to the music.
Totally separate thing.
Yeah. How do you manage to do that? Because I've often, you have these disabilities, and you have to care for them and look after them a lot, because that's what they need.